Do you know that the number one cause for failed relationships and why relationships fail is because of expectations? If we remove expectations from our life, relationships will actually can sustain. And this is the topic of today's video. So if you're in a relationship or you find yourself losing relationships all the time, I believe this video could be for you because expectations are so hidden, so underlying everything that we do that we don't notice that we have them. And they're actually the root cause for why relationships fail. If we let go of expectations from our life, we can see that the core base of it is that we are actually free. And everyone else is already free as well. We are inherently free. And when we put expectations on ourselves and others, then we put ourselves in a box that does not create that freedom. It's a box. It's a jail that you put your partner into when you put those expectations on him to behave a certain way or to be in a certain way that could create this relationship. Let me explain. I know it sounds a little bit unclear. And first of all, the question comes up is it really possible to live a life with no expectations? First, this first came to me. I thought this is not possible. How could it be possible to have no expectations at all from our partners, from the people we love, from the people around us? Is it really, really possible? And I thought, as deep as I went into it with my mind, I could not find the answer that it is. I thought it's not possible. It was very deep resistance to this. But then I realized with time, that it requires a definition. What is expectation? An expectation is depositing your happiness on other people's behavior. This is really the simple terms to look at it, and simple terms that actually brings highlight to why it's so dysfunctional. A lot of people say, yes, I need expectations in my life. It's quite normal to have that. That's how I negotiate life, how I understand who needs to do what. This is life itself. And we need expectations. This is the common excuse for creating them. But we don't notice that it's actually not to our benefit. It's detriment to our benefit. It's normal, but it's dysfunctional. Because if we deposit our happiness on other people's behavior with expectations, we basically trying to bend the wheel of the world, bend the wheel of the universe to something that we need to feel. And there's a lot of friction to that. We can never really, really come to terms to a place where life is exactly how we think. It's always not. It's always what is rather than what you think it should be. So this is very important. It's always what is rather than what you think it should be. And what is perfect. The only place where there's no perfection is in the mind. So expectations start from the small things, right? We idealize a relationship should be. Sometimes I feel that the corporate is social media and movies, Hollywood movies, the romantic movies. If you really look at those romantic movies, you see that no one in your life actually speaks the way these actors speak. It's really, really like exaggerated speech. It's not real. So nothing of that is actually real, the way they speak even. And the way they love is not real as well, because it's exaggerated. It's idealizing how it could be, how people fall in love and how people should dedicate themselves, change themselves for that love, that recognition of love. And we believe this is how it should be. We want that. I want that romantic relationship to be exactly as it shows in the movie. It's a kind of subconscious type of feeling to it. And then you live a life where you believe that you would be more happy if your man would open the door for you, right? I always love to give this analogy because it's so rooted in many, many cultures that a man should open a door for a woman. And this becomes the expectation. You don't know it because it feels like this is so basic. A man should perhaps be in his role, masculine role, and allow the woman to come first. And you lose yourself in that expectation. And of course, men also have the same type of expectations. For example, they expect a woman to dress a certain way, to look a certain way, to cook for them, whatever that expectation is. There's masculine and feminine energies moving around. So we say, if I want to be in a relationship with you, you need to fulfill this ideal. You need to open the door for me. And you feel like you deserve it. That specific thing, even as small as it comes, as small as opening a door, if that's not met, something inside you is imbalance. And then you say, I don't see a future with that person. Of course, there's no future. It's just an illusion. Again, another illusion. Future. There's always presence. There's always just presence. So when we don't see a future, when a behavior is not met, we lose ourselves in the relationship. And of course, it builds up. This is one expectation that we don't see, but there is another one, and there's another one. And we built into this feeling that we want our ideal world to create itself, to unfold itself in front of us, that we lose ourselves in many, many, many layers of expectations. And if you do that to your partner, I guarantee you that he is going to say, yes, I'd love to do this for you. Of course, I love you. But after some time, that person is not going to feel himself anymore, because he's changing a little bit every time to appease the relationship, to appease the relationship sustaining. Often he could not say to you, you know what, you were there first at the door. Why don't you open it? It's not like something people say. So they just always struggle with this notion, always add layers and layers of what I need to do in order to perform happiness. And it doesn't last for long. After a few weeks and months, sometimes you no longer feel yourself in this beautiful relationship. You lose the essence of who's in front of you, to those ideals, to those places where it's not really you. And then you are looking to escape. You don't know this. You will find some excuse, something small, because it's the idea that expectations is the idea, the deep idea that we need to complete each other. We complete each other through those expectations. I am not complete, and you will do this to appease this notion of me. And through those, we complete each other. But actually, that's the wrong direction. No one can complete you, as you are already complete. It's a deep message right now. You are already complete. Perhaps you don't see this, but it's a fact. Perhaps you cannot see this at this moment, but it's a deep fact that you are already complete and no one can complete you. And once you deeply understand that, you can let go of those expectations. And it's about freedom, because you want to be free first. So why don't you offer that to others? And in that freedom, when we're not in a box of expectations and layers of like me changing towards you, being happy, I'm already just being myself and you're being yourself, and together with no expectations, because we all have faults. We all have things that we don't see. But in a conscious relationship, we can help each other see those things. And then once we are free to be ourselves, it's the most cozy place in the world. It's home, right? When you are completely yourself, you can be home. And you don't want to escape. Who wants to go away from the feeling of home? It's just something so deep that I'm just enjoying it. I'm just here. I'm just present. There's no future in it. It's just this moment unfolding, and there's so much joy in it because I am me. You don't expect me to do anything else but be me, and being appreciated for being me, even if I haven't fulfilled some of the things that are ideal. And it's really it's a task that I put in front of you at this moment to see, to check in, and to find where are these things that you feel like ideal in your previous relationships. Learn from it. This is the learning. This is the lessons we're talking about. And to see where you put a person on a pedestal of expectations, and how it was a desire for you to feel good. Because ultimately, we are love, right? We want to be seen as love. All these expectations are underlying this notion that we want to be seen in love. And there's nothing wrong in them. There's nothing wrong, because we want to feel that love inside us. And we want to be seen in that love. But there's an ego, a shell of the ego that is so invisible that we cannot see. It's invisible. That's why we cannot see it. You cannot blame someone for something he did not see. You cannot blame yourself for something that you don't know. But this is the purpose of these videos, to shine a light and to bring into awareness this behavioral pattern. So this is a few words on expectations. If you have any questions, if you still have resistance to this, if you think it's still needed, expectations are still needed, write down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I'll be happy to be challenged because this helps me grow. Please subscribe to this channel. Then I know that you're watching and this is meaningful to you. And thank you for listening.